the biggest conversation over the last 36 hours in this country has been around the Super Bowl halftime show. The game was such an abomination. The halftime show was such a cultural flashpoint. Everybody is talking about it, right? And it's amazing because I sample other radio shows around town, and because it's mildly controversial, other shows just don't talk about it. It's just ridiculous. Talk about what people are talking about, okay? And if you upset some people in the process, who cares? It's part of the job. So I use social media as much as anything to kind of test run ideas. Yes, it's a way to interact with you away from these 4 hours I'm here every morning. And that's on my Facebook page, Pete Mundo on KCMO. It's on Instagram at Pete Mundo. It's on X. You know, I'm just there to interact after the show and the hours I'm not on the air. Share ideas that maybe I can't get to on the air if news is breaking. And then also just kind of float things and see what gets reaction. And I have gotten more reaction to a handful, like 3 posts about Bad Bunny and the halftime show than I've gotten on any other topic in 9 years, or soon to be starting 9 years of doing this show. 3 posts about Bad Bunny on my Facebook page since Sunday night have garnered more than 1,100 comments. Not reactions, not likes, comments. I can't keep track of it all. Now, I don't spend a lot of time combing through comments in general because I can't keep up with 800 comments on a single post. I mean, I would just be sitting there all day. I can't do it. But I float these things out there, yeah, I mean, to tell you how I feel and tell you what I'm thinking about topic A, B, or C, but also to see what draws reaction. And I could not believe the visceral reaction there has been to me simply noting, hey, you know, I think that some of these Bad Bunny lyrics, that when you look at the translation of them, are completely inappropriate. And the main reason that I don't believe that he should have been the halftime pick for the Super Bowl, the one and final unifying cultural moment we have in this country, and I shared that on my social media, and suddenly people who a week ago I don't think knew who Bad Bunny was are suddenly coming out of the woodwork and being like, how dare you?
How dare you?
What are you? You are knocking Bad Bunny? Oh, yeah? Well, what about Kid Rock? Okay, a couple of things. Let me address it. One, I knocked and mocked Kid Rock when that pick was made last week. But then I watched Kid Rock. And while Kid Rock has some pretty nasty lyrics in his background, I'm not going to sit here and make the tallest midget argument, but there's something to be said when you compare and say, does Kid Rock have some bad lyrics? Yeah, he does. Do I support him? No, I don't. Did Kid Rock sing any of those lyrics the other night? No, he didn't. Did Bad Bunny share his most disgusting lyrics the other night? He did not. He did sample songs in the Super Bowl that have lyrics that I could not read right now on the air. He didn't read the dirtiest lyrics, or he didn't sing the dirtiest lyrics, but those songs were part of the set that he put together. I think that's wrong. I don't think that's some wildly hot take either. But it's amazing the visceral reaction that this has drawn on my social media. And I'm just shocked by the cultural flashpoint this thing has become, with people defending it, or at least saying, yeah, but. And then, of course, you get people doing the whole, yeah, but Trump's a pedophile, or Kid Rock, and what about his lyrics? Like, I don't want to do the whataboutism. I'm not interested. What about what Trump said on the NBC tape? Yeah, you want to go blow by blow? I think that's wrong. I think this is wrong. I think that Kid Rock lyric is wrong. Now, are you going to give me on my end an admission that Bad Bunny has some nasty lyrics, or are you going to make it all about you and all about, yeah, bud? I'm not going to do this on social media because I would be doing it all day, but I'm having the conversation with you right now to simply note I am just blown away by the reaction to this. And to me, what that tells me is that deep down, the alternate halftime show that was presented by Turning Point USA was a trigger point where suddenly there was an option for people. And for those people that want to basically change the culture in this country, they don't want you to have options. They want to jam it down your throat, and they want to make sure that you like it. And now that there is an option, now that there was another show that you could consume, and you can compare and contrast, and you can say, hey, I like this show better than that one, and that one may have exceeded my expectations, and this guy's got some lyrics that are pretty nasty. Now that you're having actually a nuanced discussion, they don't want any part of that, John, and they don't like that. And I am still just sitting here shocked by the reaction to it all.
Hey, if I can't do it in the hallway here without getting hauled down to HR, should it be in the halftime show?
That's a great way to frame it. Okay, if you're getting dragged down the HR, your Fortune 500 company or your even small business, then maybe it should be something that doesn't make the halftime show. There's a novel concept. And none of that is overly political in nature. I don't think it's intended to be. But I'm blown away by it all. Alex is on KCMO. Good morning, Alex.
Morning. Hey, I got to thinking of it. I can't stand Kid Rock, and of course I don't like Bad Bunny because I don't know what the heck he's saying. But the difference in the two was Kid Rock was never put on a stage in front of hundreds of millions of people for free on television for everybody's children to see and listen to and want to know what those lyrics are and then go and look them up. Bad Bunny was put on a stage for free in front of all these people where we can watch on television or at the game if you were there and see what he was saying. To go to a Kid Rock show, you had to pay for it. So I think it comes down to parenting here is the biggest issue.
Well, listen, I don't know if people had to pay for Kid Rock's show the other night, but what I will say is that the songs that he was singing, especially his final song, which was the number one song on the iTunes music chart yesterday, was a song about, in many respects, leaning into his faith and was a cover of Cody Johnson's Till You Can't. So what was he actually singing about on that stage? And I'm not a Kid Rock fan. I was crushing the guy all week, but he exceeded my fairly low expectations for him the other day. I noted that. And I also noted that while the viewership of that halftime show is not going to be what the Bad Bunny halftime show was, I'm not going to sit here and lie about, the numbers or anything like that. It did make a dent, and considering there was no mainstream promotion for it, and it was announced 2 weeks ago, they did pretty well with that alternate halftime show through Turning Point USA. They exceeded expectations, and if they grow on that in future years, I do believe the NFL can have a problem on its hands here. I do. Not that it's happening tomorrow, but it can be a thorn in their side. And I got to give credit, of all places, Jimmy Kimmel. Did you hear him last night? He basically read my mind and summarized hundreds of people commenting on my social media pages over the last 36 hours when Jimmy Kimmel said this last night in his opening monologue.
This week, almost every liberal I know suddenly really into Bad Bunny. I mean, people I've never heard say the words bad or bunny in their lives. Like, I can't wait for Bad Bunny. Oh, what's your favorite Bad Bunny song? I don't know, but I love him. I love Bad Bunny. Here's the thing about me. Did I know any of the songs Bad Bunny was singing? Absolutely not. Never heard even 1 second of one of them. Did I understand any of what he was singing? Yes, the word nunca. That was it.
That's pretty good. And Kimmel's audience is laughing at that. They're not like awkwardly, can I laugh at that one? He's making fun of us. They're laughing, which once again is another example of why the chaos and the crazy that you see on social media is not real life. It's not. I mean, I've made these posts like, hey, that Kid Rock show was better than I expected, and Bad Bunny's lyrics are inappropriate. And you know what else happened yesterday? My Facebook page got hammered with negative reviews. I'm not sitting here, caring about it. I'm not a business per se, right? I'm not like a restaurant where I got to keep my reviews up. But I got this from a guy named Andrew. He says he doesn't recommend Pete Mundo on KCMO Talk Radio. And here's what his review writes. Bro, meaning me, has a Latin last name, but hates Spanish artists. Also, by the other reviews, he seems to be a Trump supporter and a closet pedophile. Wow. This is the kind of reaction that you get on social media when you simply have an opinion that I think a lot of people are sharing over the last 36 hours or so. You hate Spanish music? Who hates Spanish music? I don't hate Spanish music. I hate really vulgar lyrics. I hate when those vulgar lyrics are then promoted on the biggest stage in American sports. What about Spanish artists? And he notes that I have a Latin last name. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thanks very much for pointing out the obvious there. Which, by the way, when your last name is McCartney and then you're knocking my last name and saying, how dare I have an opinion that is not in favor of some Latin artist, as if that means anything? Boy, that is some just grade A virtue signaling right there. Is it not? That's something else.
Bro better have some Beatles albums. Right? McCartney can't be a hater now. Right? I mean, his last name.
Oh, my gosh. This issue has just driven people insane. And there are people who I'm convinced a month ago didn't have a single Bad Bunny stream on their Spotify. You couldn't find it in their top 1,000 songs. And now they're just all in, as Jimmy Kimmel said, on supporting their guy. Bad Bunny. Go make sense of that. 913-408-7957. It's just a fascinating case study into the bizarreness of the culture wars that we find ourselves in right now. Unbelievable.